I think for those of you that are here, you were at practice. So I don't know how much of an opening statement I have to make. I will tell you that today's practice, we got up and down, and we actually shot the basketball pretty well today. You know, we have one more quiz before all the tests start coming, and that's against Northwood tomorrow at 4. It is a close scrimmage, but I'm looking for some major improvement from the last scrimmage we had, and still working with my combinations, trying to get, you know, the rotation down and everything. But you know, as of today, I'm still a little edgy, but I feel better. So I'll take questions.
Thoughts going into the season, Coach? Obviously, you picked to win it, to win the MAC tournament, West, get to the big show. Your thoughts about that?
Well, you know, Jim, when I was on the conference call and I heard that, you know, I said, well, it's a curse or it's a challenge. Simply because, you know, the last couple of years, the team that have been picked to win it has not. And so we're really looking at it as it's a great challenge. It's one that we are really looking forward to, and that's winning the MAC tournament. You know, I said this, winning the West or where you finish on the West really only determines where you're seated in the tournament. So, you know, I'm more concerned about the end. You know, we're going to work very hard to finish in the top in the West and to win the MAC tournament to get to the NCAA tournament.
And you prepared your schedule
for that. I mean, if you look at our schedule, you know, it's hellacious. Well, brutal, whatever you want to say. I'm going to say it's very challenging. You know, but I think, you know, to play Kentucky. At Kentucky, to play UMass, you know, we go at UMass, at Kentucky, at Marquette, and then, you know, Kansas, Duke, and Xavier on neutral court. I mean, I think it's very challenging. You know, we don't even get to come home until December 5th, and then we play Dayton. But all those teams that we talked about, I just finished talking about, there's a chance we may see them in the NCAA tournament. Yeah. And so it's getting us ready. You know, to play at Notre Dame, to play at Purdue, to play at Dayton, it's like playing in the conference tournament like we did last year when we had to play Bowling Green and Toledo and Akron. So, you know, the goal is to improve every single game. The goal is to win the games, but, you know, to get us ready for the Mid-American Conference tournament.
Tell a little more about that schedule. I mean, obviously you called it very challenging. Are there any games that, you know, you sit there and you say, okay, well, maybe we don't, you know, have a chance to win, or are you confident that you can win every single game that you schedule?
You know, Dominic, you know, every game we go into, you know, you have to go into the mindset that performance. It's all about the performance, and if it's a good performance, then you can be satisfied with the result. If I go in thinking, I just don't think we can win this game, or yeah, we are really going to win this game, then I'm focused on the outcome without focusing on what determines that outcome. And so you have to stay true to the process.
And you talked a little about the non-conference schedule and, you know, the experience that it might bring to some of the younger players. You know, players like, you know, CB obviously have had experience against great competition. How important is it going to be for maybe some of the younger players on the team to get, you know, early in their college career, you know, such great experience against, you know, that kind of competition?
Well, I think, you know, that's a really good point, and I think when you have a Desiree Turner who's really improved, is going to get a lot more time for us. I think, you know, you look at a Kirby Tam, you look at a Jordan LeDuc, who have also improved over the course of the summer, and then a Jewel Cotton, who is basically a freshman for us, who did not play in any of those games, getting that experience early in this non-conference, you know, so they're not going to be wide-eyed, you know, when it comes to MAC play, MAC tournament play, and hopefully NCAA play.
You say, you know, the preseason rankings are so sort of the writing on the wall. Is anything less than, you know, a MAC championship disappointing this year?
Well, I think winning the MAC tournament championship. You know, would it be disappointing if we didn't win it? Yeah, it would be. I'm not going to lie about that, because it's you know, that's the most important thing, to get to the NCAA tournament. Now if hopefully our league, everybody in the league I think has scheduled better in the non-conference, so we can make some noise as a league. Maybe we can get 2 teams in, but the only guarantee you have is you have to win the MAC tournament.
CB talked a little bit about becoming a role player on this team and understanding that she has a specific role in the team, maybe as a team leader or whatever else. What do you envision for her, and do you think that's something that she can pick up being around the first game of the season, or is that something that you think eventually develops as players develop around her?
I think that for CB, it's something that she has to continue to develop on a daily basis, not just at a game. I think, for her to be consistent when we are in practice, consistent with her talking, consistent with her effort. And I will tell you that her experience playing with the World University team helped her understand the importance of that.
When she's playing at her highest level, do you think that she deserves to be the conference most valuable player?
You know what? I think that CB has to be, again, consistent game to game. And, the coaches vote on that. And I think if she is able to do that, I think it'll be a really tight race. Politically correct answer. Yes, Greg.
As much experience as you have coming back, do you find yourself teaching lessons off of last year's experiences, or are you treating this as a brand new team?
Well, it is a brand new team, Greg, because, we lost 3, I think, very important players in Baker, Schroll, and Olive. And I think we lost defense. We lost defense, we lost rebounding, and then, Jaleesa with her little excitement that she brought, to the floor and her deep range 3. So, I think right now I don't really talk a whole lot about last year. Talk more about this year and what we want to do and finding, the replacements for that defense, for that rebounding, and that deep 3 ball.
You got a couple of knees that are a concern. Taylor Johnson and Green, they're going to play a pretty big role.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to approach them this season, making sure that they're out there healthy?
Well, I think, Jim, that's a good point with both Jess and Taylor. I have to really watch their minutes because, with Jess starting out right now, when we play Northwood tomorrow, she might get, I don't know how many minutes she's going to get. I'll just kind of watch her and work with our trainer to get her, maybe pull her a little earlier than what I would like to. And that's the same thing with Taylor. Taylor is pretty limited mobility-wise. She can still shoot the ball. Yeah. But, she's, her ability to give us 30 minutes a game, I think, is going to be tough. I think, she might be a 2, 3, 4 minute player, and then out she's got to come. And, it depends, too, on who we're playing, and it depends on the defense that we're playing with Taylor.
Coming off the tournament, win of the MAC tournament, how much more confidence do you see in these upperclassmen that they can compete at higher levels?
Well, I think, they're very confident. I think, everybody knows what that 1.5 seconds did to us a couple years ago, and that spurred us to last year. But I will tell you the disappointment that was in that locker room after we lost to Oklahoma, considering how we came back against Oklahoma, and so I think that still sits in your gut. And I think that right now is a nice motivating factor to get back there to the tournament.
What would be the thing that would maybe take that feeling out of your gut?
Probably winning a game in the NCAA tournament.
Coach, so much was said about that freshman class that came in as the top-ranked recruiting class. What have you seen in their development now as upperclassmen and juniors and Kirby Tams and Jasmine Brady?
Well,
outside of the Jess Green and Christopher Rick?
Right. Well, I think, both Jasmine, first of all, I'm very happy with Jasmine and the fact that she's in pretty good shape right now, and I would tell you that she's kind of injury-free because last year she played with, nagging injuries that hampered her getting up and down the court. But, with Jasmine and with Kirby, I think Kirby had a tremendous summer. You look at her and, she dropped some weight. She's moving up and down, but I think better. But I think confidence-wise, she's shooting the ball so much better. and she's also penetrating and creating for other people. But I think they understand, they get it. They've been in the fire, they've been here for 2 years now, they know the kind of competition that we have, they know our system, and so I think they're really able to help a Jacqueline Simpson. I think they're really able to help a Jewel Cotton. They're able to help a Rike, our young lady from Denmark, who we are redshirting. So, I think their leadership is really starting to come out.
We saw what Jessica Schroll did for this program last year as a transfer, and obviously L'Oreal Jones won't be able to compete this year, but what does adding a player of that caliber help you even in the practice gym, and looking forward to the future of adding her to this roster?
Well, I'll tell you, L'Oreal had a group project today that she could not miss with her group, so that's why she was not in practice. And I'll tell you, she runs the floor very well. She's very athletic and rebounds the living tar out of the ball. So she has really helped us in practice as far as our transition on both ends of the floor, but also our rebounding and making sure we keep a kid like her off the glass.
She was the Detroit Player of the Year coming out of high school. How much does she challenge Crystal in practice every single day to make your best player better?
Well, I think it's a nice little matchup to watch sometimes. I will tell you that, because L'Oreal is physical. She bangs her around a little bit, and, Crystal really has to work to beat her off the dribble. So, I think it's been a nice match to watch.
5-year contract, newly signed contract this year. How much comfort does that give you coming back and being part of this program for 5 more years?
Kyle, I'm very grateful to, President Ross and Dave for a new 5-year. You always want that stability. And I just think it helps with the continuity, with the recruiting. We're going to sign 5 young ladies here I think it's November 13th, and we have 2 commitments in 2015 already. So I think that helps our recruiting. It helps the continuity, the strength of our program. And, I'm happy as a clam that I get to stay in Mount Pleasant.
Jody Kess made reference to this the other day on the MAC call, where this program and the Akron's program have come in just 6 years. Now that you've had a couple months to reflect back on the NCAA tournament, what is your reflection on where you've actually brought this program, where can you go moving forward?
Well, I think, Kyle, I've been very, very blessed to have good people with me, alongside of me, as we have built this program. I tweeted the other day, 7 years ago, the MAC coaches picked us to finish last, and we did. And so this year we were picked to win it, and so we're working very hard to make them believers. So I think it just shows the growth of our program. It shows the hard work is paying off, and we'll continue to work hard to bring in quality student athletes to make sure our program stays where it is and not take a step back.